Would you like to be rich at a very young age? It seems like a good thing, but when we look at child stars and how they often turn out, perhaps it's not that great. What about kids born with the most silver of silver spoons? Again, having too much cash at a young age can sometimes be as much of a curse as it is a benefit steering you towards happiness and fulfillment. Forbes tells us that in 2017 there were 2,043 billionaires in the world, collectively amassing $7.7 trillion. While these children didn't make a billion, some of them no doubt will come into billions at some point in life. One such billionaire is Alexandra Andersson, a Norwegian 19-year-old who is said to be the world's youngest billionaire. Today we'll look at these rich kids. In this episode of the Infographics Show, who are the richest kids in the world? Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell button so that you can be part of our notification squad. First of all, we should separate kids who actually have money that they can spend and kids who are going to come into money later on. Jennifer, Rory, and Phoebe Gates, the kids belonging to Bill and Melinda, no doubt will share the spoils of the richest man in the world. But it's not actually their money to spend right now, and anyway, Bill Gates has said he won't spoil his kids and will give a large part of his fortune away to charities. The kids of Larry Ellison, the co-founder of Oracle, reportedly receive $5 allowance a week, which isn't much when you consider he's worth $59 billion. So, who are the richest kids who actually have cash on hand and can spend to their heart's content? By kids, we mean anyone in their teens or younger. Let's start with child stars. One of the richest child stars right now is 19-year-old Elle Fanning, the younger sister of Dakota Fanning. Dakota is now too old to be on our list. Elle made a ton of money in her childhood acting in Hollywood movies, with her first big hit being the blockbuster Super 8. She's said to be worth about $5 million. The richest of the celebrity kids who earn their own cash is the son of Will Smith, Jaden, who, like his father, has had a fairly diverse career. He made more than $8 million acting, singing, and even creating his own clothing brand. This industrial young chap, he's just 19, even part owns a spring water company. Now, Suri Cruise might be worth around $500 million, but she has her dad Tom to thank for that. Jaden Smith, however, put in the hours. His sister Willow is also said to be worth millions, and she too did it on her own back. Not to say their famous papa didn't help them get their careers off the ground. Another notable mention of a rich star still in his teens is Rico Rodriguez. The Modern Family actor is said to be worth about $7 million. He is now 19 years old. But everyone knows these days that if you want to become mega rich as a kid, acting isn't the only way to go. You can become an entrepreneur. One such entrepreneur is 18-year-old Jalen Bledsoe. He started Bledsoe Technologies when he was just 12 years old and now has become well known as one of America's most forward-thinking child prodigies. According to his website, he started off with $100 and within 2 years he had 150 contractors on his payroll. He's said to be worth about $3.5 million now, but life wasn't easy for this kid. His parents had him at the young age of 16, and he says life was full of struggles. Part of his job now is giving motivational speeches to other budding entrepreneurs. We should also see who was making money from YouTube, as we all enjoy watching YouTube content. When we looked at 2017's richest YouTube stars, only one of them was still a kid. The richest was a British man called Daniel Middleton. He's worth over $16 million, but he's now way past being a kid at 26 years old. Another person in the top 10 was the one and only Jake Paul, who is 20 at time of writing. You'll know if you watched our clip about him that he is a millionaire many times over. But the winner in terms of age, and he's pretty special, is only 6 years old. He opens presents while being filmed, and in 2017 that earned him over $11 million. His channel, Ryan Toys Review, is a family-run affair in the US. According to an article in The Verge, the toy industry is paying close attention to stars like Ryan, and his mother left her job as a science teacher to focus on her son's gift-opening channel. We checked out a few lists of entrepreneurs pulling in lots of cash under the age of 30, and there were plenty. But how many of them were under the age of 20? Not too many. One such man is 18-year-old pizza-loving Australian Ben Pasternak. He's said to be worth millions, and his e-commerce platform Flog has a value of $2 million. He dropped out of high school in Sydney and moved to New York, where he now lives a lavish lifestyle. He told Fortune in an interview that he intends to build the next Apple. His friend and sometimes partner, 18-year-old Isaiah Turner, joined him in New York, where he too enjoys millions and lives the life of a high flyer. When the two were interviewed by The New Yorker in 2017, they sounded just like kids, but had a daring-do attitude to life. "You're gonna die one day, and no one's gonna come to your funeral," said Ben, and then proceeded to talk about skateboards. It seems if you are not working in tech or using tech primarily as your way to make money, then making millions isn't easy. A few years ago, a girl was reportedly doing just that, selling rather colorful flip-flops out of Texas. That was then, and this girl, Madison Robinson, had reportedly made over $1 million in sales when she was just 15. Her company, Fish Flops, at least the online store, seems to have closed down now, so we can't say how she's doing as a 19-year-old. We found her on Twitter and Facebook, and she now seems to be spending much of her time giving motivational speeches and empowering young people and mostly young women to become become successful entrepreneurs. Her Twitter intro reads, "I believe in charitable giving, being happy, and helping others. Act on your creativity." So, there you go. These are some of the wealthiest self-made kids on the planet, none of whom were billionaire babies. Are there other young self-made millionaires that we failed to mention? Let us know in the comments. Also, be sure to check out our other video called 10 Surprisingly High-Paying Jobs. Thanks for watching, and as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you next time!